Welcome back to Growth Catalyst Hub. In our channel, we look at three things: productivity, your skills, and how to turbocharge your career. In today's episode, we are going to look at how do you negotiate your salary. You might have felt that you left money on the table many times. I have felt like that many times in my career. But how do you avoid that? What are the key questions that you need to ask when you are negotiating your salary? But even before that, what are the things that you should be prepared for so that you can ask those right questions? Whether you are living in Bangalore or Mumbai or London or New York, doesn't really matter. The 18-step framework that I'm going to share now is going to be very good equally for anywhere that you are living in this world. Because these are absolutely important steps which the best of the salary negotiators have used in their career to go and skyrocket the money and the compensation that they get out of what they do for their company. So here we go. Let's look at this 18-step ultimate framework for salary negotiations. You're getting into phase number two, where you are actually thinking through the strategy basis the understanding that you have derived from the first step. First step is all about preparedness. First step is all about getting ready. First step is all about knowing what the boundary conditions are, lay of the land are, what people like you are getting paid, what roles like this are paying people like you. Once you know that, you are getting into a situation, the second phase, where you are thinking about what is that you can of give as a counter offer. What is it that you must have? What is it that you can negotiate on? So it's important to look at all the components as I have talked to before. Every single component of the likely salary that they have already offered or you are going to ask for, and not just a fixed income, and look at what is a must have. What is it that you will not accept anything below that? Suppose you are already making, let's say, 50 lakhs in a company, and you are now going to ask for a 60 lakh minimum jump. A 60 lakh is a minimum to go, and you will not take it and you will walk off. That is a condition. So that's what I'm talking about. What is the acceptable basic level without which you will not accept the offer? What is negotiable level? And what is sweetener that will make the deal better, sweeter, and more acceptable? So three headings: must have, negotiable, sweetener. You should have three columns and look at each of the component of the salary and put it in terms of what bracket, what level you want these components to be in, and what is acceptable to you, what is definitely negotiable, and you will accept within some kind of a band. What are those bands, and what will be sweet if they offered you that? Call out, note down, and be ready. That's the first step of the second phase, which is all about putting the strategy in place. Step number seven. Sometimes you may be in control of this step, sometimes you may not be, but if you can, time it right. If you are in India, just after the financial year, depending upon which company that you are applying for, because in the new financial year, typically which is April to March, and some companies also operate in a calendar year fashion. If it is a new year and if you're negotiating in the starting of the new year, then you have odds stacked for you because they have the budgets and you know that they have the budgets and they know that you know that they have the budgets. So it's a logic that operates in a interesting manner because you know that they have fresh budgets, you can operate and ask for more. And if it is a global company, immediately after the results are announced, immediately after the fresh budgets are there, the same principle operates there also. So the timing, if you can get going, in terms of timing, it will help you. Step 8 is, to my mind, the linchpin, the most important thing in the entire scenario. What is your backup? Suppose you don't want to take it and I don't care, I don't want this. Sorry. Thanks, guys. I have another offer. You should be able to say that you have another offer, and that is a strength that you are going to bring to the table. If you are not so desperate for this offer, that would be shown in your body language, in the way you speak, in the way you negotiate. If you're desperate for this, then your leverage is much lower. So, depending upon how desperate you are, the negotiation can be further elongated, further pushed, But if you're very desperate, you may not be in a position to negotiate too much. The only way to negotiate even better than what you can do is to get another offer, which is the best alternative for the negotiated offer, which is called BATNA. Best alternative for a negotiated agreement, what is called as BATNA. If you have that BATNA in place, if you have the counter offer in place, if you have additional position which is ready to give you, which you are acceptable if this is not going to go through, then you can negotiate this main offer in a better manner. It could even be your current working environment, current company where you are already established, where you're already doing well. It could be that, I don't want to take it because my current company will offer this price anyway. If you are very clear about that, that clarity will come through in your negotiation, and that gives you enormous strength when you are negotiating this particular offer. Tip number nine, you are on the negotiating table. Maybe you are in person, maybe you are negotiating on phone. Most likely it is on phone. And you need to use silence as an effective tool. You put your offer on the plate saying that I've heard you, but you know what? This, I think, total offer that I am looking at. Suppose you are looking at a 60 lakh salary, you are at a 50 lakh bracket now, you are looking at a 10 lakh plus, plus, plus. You can say that I'm looking at a 60 lakh minimum, and this is the variable component that I'm looking at. This is the structure of the component that I'm looking at, and you let me know. And I would be very interested in looking at what your thoughts are. And you keep quiet. You don't speak. You don't fill up the void. They may also know this tactic, and therefore they may also not speak for some time. Grit your teeth, count from 1 to 5 slowly, and then wait on the line. Don't rush into fill up the void. Don't rush into fill up the silence. Let them speak. And this is a very effective tool in terms of negotiations. Silence is a golden tool. Please use that. Wait for other party to speak up first. Tip number 10, a tip in terms of how to negotiate depending upon where you are in the world. If you are outside India, if you are in especially European countries or USA, you speak basis the data. You can say that this is the data, this is something that I know, this is what people like you are paying for roles like this, and therefore I am absolutely right in demanding a compensation which is fair and similar to what my peers will be getting. Fair and square, straight talk. But if you're in India, you need to add a little more humility, little more team sense in how you are pitching it. You need to say exactly this, but with a little more humility in your tone and saying that if you are able to offer that, then I'll be able to lead the team better. I'll be able to perform as a part of your team. So you need to bring the team dimension and the humility dimension a little more in your voice to cut through and be acceptable for people in India. These are cultural nuances. You should know that. Next step is all about follow up. They have offered, you have given a counter offer, you have stated data, you have stated facts and figures, you have brought in your humility, you have brought in your team dimension, you have spoken like a pro. Now is the time to follow up like a pro. After, let's say 24 hours after the discussion, you should send a mail to the person who you are working with, you are negotiating with. Say that this is what the discussion was all about. This is what they offered. This is what your expectation is. Because of this is data. And represent whatever you have spoken on the phone, represent on the mail, and share that with that person so that the person knows exactly what they talked about. Sometimes memory can be funny, and hence the mail is important as minutes of the meeting, as reminder to the person, and then set reminder for yourself to follow up with that person, let's say 48 hours later. Don't be in a rush. Don't be desperate. Wait. It's a waiting game, and the more you wait, the more capable you are waiting, the better the salary components will be in your favor. Step number 12, this is not a step only for salary negotiation. This is a step that you should make it a ritual. So the step is called make it a ritual. Suppose you're happy, very happy in your company. But do you know whether you are paid fair and square? It is important for you to know that. And it's important to be there, especially if you feel that you are doing extremely well and you should be paid accordingly. So run a competitive check, run a comparison check, and look at how much you are paid, looking at across all the components that you are getting paid and applying same principles as if you are on the negotiating table. You are not, maybe you are very happy with your company, maybe you are actually getting very well paid, but have the data to prove it yourself that your pay and the compensation is in line with what your peers in the same company or across other companies are getting paid. Nothing wrong in knowing that. It gives you better advantage in getting to salary review with your boss in your same company, because you can put on the table as to this is the data that I have, this is what the data says as to what my friends, what my peers are getting in my position. I seem to be getting a little lower. Can you please correct that? You can have that discussion with your boss. You can have that discussion with your HR, but you can have that only when you have the data on the table. So get that position, get that understanding, get the data in place.